world had waited, and James Stewart did not disappoint. Just 3 races into his 250 career, Bubba put the world's best Supercross riders on notice that he will be a factor the last 4 rounds of the 2005 season. His chief rivals have shown him uncommon respect for someone so young. Now they must find a way to compete for race wins against Supercross's newest 250 class winner. Now, with the rest of his career ahead of him, the Kawasaki superstar is looking to make it 2 in a row. Carmichael, Reed, and Stewart are set to go as the gate drops in Pontiac. When the smoke clears, who will claim the checkered flag? Turned out. Todd Harris along with Cameron Steele and Jamie Little. Glad to be back with you as we take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. Ricky Carmichael is leading the THQ World Supercross GP by virtue of those very strong performances up in Canada. Then it's LaRocco and Sebastien Tortelli, the top 3. On the AMA side, a little different. Carmichael is still your leader, but Chad Reed 31 points down. Kevin Windham sits in 3rd. Tonight will go a long way in determining what happens when we get to Las Vegas. Before we go racing, it's now time for the MX versus ATV Unleashed track map, and for that, we check in with Cameron Steele. Let's go, rock and roll, fellas, the big bikes, the 250s, the kings of Supercross, diving into this first left-hand turn. Remember, the gravel's going to make it a little tough as it comes to the surface. Guys might be falling down, sliding out. This rhythm section has multiple lines, but every section fast is going one way, which means the track is kind of one line. They've all been saying that. What else does that mean? That means watch for the takeout. Outside lines are faster, inside is safer. Those looks like they've got to carry the speed wall to get over that step over the bridge. Then you're going to get into the triple jump. 65 Cs, that flat base jump is going to get people some fits. And remember, when you get into this work section, carry the speed, shift it up a gear to carry it and get it all the way through the end. A lot of riders having a hard time with that small triple. They're going double single off the big triple right hand, and then you're back onto the starting straight. Once again, you're going to tackle this rhythm section again. It will be a factor in the race here tonight. Different things may happen, but again, people looking for the inside line, maybe the block pass right there, and that is your MX versus ATV Unleashed track map. Track looks very good here at Pontiac at the Silverdome. So much history in this edifice as we take a look at our MX versus ATV Unleashed track facts. 70% sand, 30% clay mix. A lot of line was brought in to dry the dirt out. 400 man-hours spent to build this thing. And the over-under bridge elevated corner where the staircase makes it a little tricky to think, not too much of a technical track. And also, flat turns require more throttle. Cameron talked about grip. It will be very interesting to see what happens. We get set for 250 heat number 1. Here's how you advance to the main event. 2 heats, 8 transfer. Then 2 semis. We get 10 out of there. And then 1 LCQ. And that really is the race of nerds. Only 2 will transfer. As we take a look at our starting grid, Chad Reed, Kevin Windham, and Chad Reed, Cameron, in last practice, unfortunately, an unbelievably fast time. A little bit faster than Ricky Carmichael and James Bubba Stewart, 3rd fastest. Any surprises there for you?
Well, definitely. I mean, Chad doesn't surprise me with his speed. I will say that a lot of the riders have been trying different setups, and maybe James is trying something different because he was off the pace a little bit, but I expect Chad to be fast and solid here. He has been looking good, even though traction is an issue in the corners. Riders looking up high to rail the corners around instead of going down underneath because there's some rocks coming to the surface.
Ernesto Fonseca running up on board. Chad Reed gets a great jump in front. Fonseca cuts right in front of him. Kevin Windham. Kevin Windham, can he hold the line? Yes, he can.
I talked to Kevin Windham earlier today, and he said one of the biggest keys to this track is one of the biggest times you want to get hold of it because it's a fast lap. It's also a one-line track, not a lot of room to pass. So if you can get in front, you can really bulldog your way and keep it there. If someone faster is coming up behind you. riders on the planet. Well, there's no doubt about it. His Supercross skill, speed. I think people were surprised when he won Daytona, but that's because he's working his speed up on the rougher tracks as well. He's gunning for the outdoor title as well as Supercross title, and he knows it's not over yet, but he knows he needs to get going out there, and he needs some help from some friends when it comes down to the points. He needs the people in between he and Ricky. Kevin Windham, your leader. You are looking at number 22. That is Chad Reed. He is the defending Supercross champion, trying to get back what he says is rightfully his. But Ricky Carmichael right now is on top of the points lead. As Cameron pointed out, Chad had a little problem there, Cameron, that step up. And when it's the first heat races, the track is different than it was in practice because of grooming. And Chad just misstepped there, trying to step off again. So Reed maintains his second place position, but he gives a little more breathing room to Kevin Windham. Ernesto Fonseca right there on your screen, number 24, on board the Honda, carrying our onboard this weekend. And Ernesto Fonseca, Cameron, a solid performer. You know, last year when Ricky Carmichael was down the Honda program and everything, and Ernesto was really carrying the flag for Team Honda, did a great job until he had his knee problems in San Diego, put a lot of pressure on him. I know he has a new agent now with Tony Garcia, so Ernesto Fonseca, a solid rider, currently running third right now, trying to track down Chad Reed, who's got about a 100-yard lead on Ernesto, and Kevin Windham about 30 yards on Chad. And Ernesto coming with an 11th place finish last week. That's enough to fire you up to be outside the top 10. You know he wants to not only be there, top 5, he wants to get on the podium. No question about it. So it's Ernesto Fonseca currently holding down the helmet cam and third place. Your leader, Kevin Windham, being followed closely by Chad Reed. Can Reed reel Windham in, or will Kevin Windham claim the heat victory? Stick around and find out. ESPN. Welcome back to Pontiac, Michigan. It's 250 heat number 1. There is your leader. Kevin Windham continues to maintain about a 30-yard lead on a very hard-charging Chad Reed, number 22, as Reed will now come in picture right there. Chad made one mistake, Cameron, this race, and it cost him about 20 yards. But give Kevin Windham a lot of credit. He has been able to hold Chad off. Here's third place, 24, and that is Ernesto Fonseca. He currently runs in third with our helmet cam, and number 47, TE Tyler Evans, riding very strong. Definitely, and he's going for that top privateer position. I know there's a Nissan Frontier and a Weekend Warrior trailer on the line there, and Tyler riding for Bloodshot and Skate Raid aboard the Suzuki. He has been working hard towards that position, and he definitely hasn't lost sight of moving up in the overall points. Working and working out. This guy is cut. Tyler Evans looking strong. 103, that is Sebastien Tortelli. I think Sebastien Tortelli could be the Nick Wade lookalike. I don't know, but he is riding very good right now, currently running in 5th place. Well, we'll get our chance to ask Nick very soon. He's going to be joining us a little bit later, as we all know. And I'm looking at this race here between Sebastien and Tyler, and Sebastien was one of the riders that was saying this is a track that's going to be very difficult to make up time. Watching to see if he's going to be able to move up on Evans. And I know that Sebastien's one guy that's very happy about all the 4-stroke time he's had because he is getting ready to go to the outdoor series as well. And you think with so much sweet dirt here, those 4-strokes would have a little bit of advantage that topsoil moving around. The white flag is out. There is your leader, Kevin Windham, number 14, out in front, holding off Chad Reed. Can he hold him off? Because this is the final lap. I'll tell you what, I got to give a lot of credit to Kevin Windham. When so many people have talked about Ricky and Bubba and Chad, Kevin Windham has rode impeccable tonight. And trying to get by the lappers is always a factor in the main event. You saw Scott Metz, who's running still a good race, but he's getting lapped. And Kevin having a hard time figuring out which way to go around him on that triple. Your winner, 250 heat number 1, number 14, Kevin Windham on board the Honda. So is this it? As he throws up the number 1 finger, is this the return of K-Dub? You factor him into the mix, and it's very interesting. 250 heat number 1 results look like this. It is Kevin Windham, followed by Chad Reed, Ernesto Fonseca, and Tyler Evans all moving on. Let's send it down to Jamie Little.
Well, it's been 4 races since Kevin Windham has been atop the podium. That's very uncharacteristic of K-Dub. Kevin, you look like the man that we saw in the beginning of the series, but I have to ask you, having James Stewart out here, does that make you step up your program a little?
James is just another guy, you know, he's riding great. kind of brings one more piece to the puzzle. I felt great out there, and that's what I got to focus on, the fact that I was feeling really good. I kept Chad at bay. You know, I've seen Chad beat James. It means I can too.
Is K-Dub going to be in the mix tonight?
If that was any indication, I sure hope so. My bike's working great. My Amsoil, Chaparral, Factory Connection, Honda. Napster, Rockland Cross Gate, no fear. Done my tires, Alpine Star boots, ride goggles. Fry helmets, fly goggles, excuse me. It's been a while since I've done this, and that's why I feel so good.
All right, thank you very much, Jamie. Kevin Windham dominant in heat number 1.
Definitely stepping up. Little slip up by Reed. He can't be having that if he wants to get up there, get in front, and start making some points on Ricky Carmichael and getting some of his friends in between.
All right, we want to welcome into the booth. We've got Nick Way, 250 pro rider. Nick, first of all, bring us up to speed on your injury and what's going on.
Yeah, I had a total knee reconstruction about 6 weeks ago. Been rehabbing a lot back home in Michigan. Just hoping to come back for the beginning of the Nationals and be as strong as I was when I went out.
Let's talk about the field, primarily 259 James Stewart. Are you surprised?
No, not at all. He's been a phenomenal rider ever since he hit the pro ranks, even before then. But looks like everyone's trying to catch him right now here at the race, looking to see what he's doing, trying to improve my game when I can come back.
259 James Bubba Stewart picked up his first 250 win last week in Dallas, and before the gate dropped tonight, we had a chance to sit down with James and catch his thoughts.
Winning last week in Dallas, you know, it's everything I expected. You know, just finally doing it felt like so much, you know, pressure was off. You know, I finally got my race win under my belt. You know, it seemed like a long time, but it actually didn't really take me that long, 3 races. And it felt good to beat Ricky and Chad and all those guys. It just felt like it was a dream. And, you know, I was a little surprised when Ricky came over to me at the end and, you know, came over and raised my hands up. You know, I was on the ground. I was just so happy just being down there, and then he picked me up, and I looked back, and I was like, whoa, who's this? And it was cool, you know, me and Ricky, you know, we get along off the track, but, you know, on the track, you know, we're competitors and stuff. And to see him come over, it was pretty cool to see. And after we left, you know, down on the floor and stuff, you know, I went back, and, you know, there was a whole bunch of fans out there. You know, there was still maybe like 100 people out there, you know, waiting for me to get back. And it felt like being in the stadium all over again with all the guys cheering. And we didn't do anything. You know, those guys had their fun. I went back to my hotel, and, you know, I was like, you know, hopefully there's plenty more to come from. And, you know, I want to celebrate, but I still got a race. I got a few races left. So I'll wait to the end of the season or whenever that's done to have my fun.
Number 259, James Stewart Jr., our winner last week in Dallas. He is, without question, Cameron, and Nick Way, maybe one of the most naturally talented motorcycle riders on the planet. As we take a look at our starting grid, it's Carmichael, James Stewart. Also, we want to remember Tim Ferry, Travis Preston, talking to his mechanic, Sean Ulikowski. Travis Preston has looked very good, very fast in practice today. Nick, as you look at that lineup right there, take your pick.
Yeah, I think this is a key heat race here for Ricky and James to get out there and see what the vibe is for the night, who's going to have the upper hand. Last week I was in Dallas, Ricky with a couple crashes here and there and having to go to the semi, pulled together for a great race in the main event, so I'm looking forward to a good race here.
And Ricky Carmichael riding with a hematoma on his stomach. It looks like a baseball sticking out right below his belly button. It's really kind of gross. It's basically full of blood on the inside, and says it doesn't feel very good when you ride, but really, if you hit it, he says it's shockingly bad.
He took a shot in the abdomen from his handlebars during practice week before Dallas, but he is out riding like we knew he would. It's 250 heat 2 from Pontiac. And look at that, Sean. Oh my, Sean Ulikowski's got something going on in Travis Preston's bike, but to the inside it's 259. Carmichael sits in 5th place. It is James Stewart with the lead. Travis Preston sits in 2nd. Then Heath, Voss, Damon Vuillemin, and RC.
It looks like with all the 4-strokes out there in the long start, running 2-3 right now, everyone's just chasing Bubba.
Right, you see Bubba right there. I talked to him today about it. He grabs his helmet all the time. I said, James, come on, you do that all the time. What is he? He says, you know what, when I'm most comfortable when I'm riding, it's like, I said, is it nervous? He says, I guess, because I just grab my helmet just for the heck of it. It means nothing. I go, James, you like 3 times a lap. He's like, you know, I'm feeling good when I'm grabbing my helmet.
Keep an eye on that. So James Stewart is your leader. There is Ricky Carmichael, the current points leader. And Nick, you talk about Ricky Carmichael, hard charging right now. If you're Ricky, how fast do you think his heart's beating? Do you think he's nervous? nervous right now because he's on the fourth and final transfer position.
Well, I think he's, trying to go as fast as he can right now, and what Cameron's alluded to before, the track is being a little bit easy, and, those 4 strokes ahead of him are fast on these long straightaways, and the rock in the track getting thrown up at his hematoma on his stomach's not feeling very well, so he's wanting to get to the front as soon as he can.
So Carmichael fifth and fourth, just ahead of him is number 13, that is Heath Voss, and Travis Preston, number 70, holding down second place.
And Heath Voss isn't afraid to ride a wide bike, is he, Dick? He can fill up a lot of space.
No, he's been out for a while, and last weekend had a strong ride on his return back in Dallas, and looks like he's holding his own right here, holding off Ricky for the first 2 laps of the heat.
Now, we saw Ricky at the last lap go to the outside. We talked about the possibility of the triple in there. No one has done it yet, and James Stewart not doing it. He was the first one to do it in practice, but I saw Ricky look to set up Heath. There you go. The lap before, but he dives inside there.
Yeah, for sure. Coming out of the first turn, there was Ricky and quite a few guys were going outside, triple, single. Looks like it's a little bit loose out there in the berm before that section right now, so maybe it'll develop. People will do it later.
James Stewart goes through there. You see the gap to second place. Number 70, Travis Preston. Now number 4, Ricky Carmichael, sits in third place on board the Suzuki. Can he reel in Travis Preston? Talk about a guy who can ride wide. Travis Preston stands about 6'2". He is a big man, but James Stewart continues to lead. I don't know if it's a nice way of saying this, but is James Stewart a freak of nature, Nick?
Well, it looks like right now on the lap time that James is going about a half a second faster than what both Kevin and Chad were in the first heat. So, he's definitely going really fast right now. And, in this heat, it looked like Ricky got too bad a start to contend with him. But, hopefully in the main, I think the times are close enough to where we're going to get a good race.
I had a chance to talk to Ricky Carmichael just before tonight's program. He said the start is going to be critical. Cameron, you touched on it, getting the whole shot. Cameron, he said, if I can get the whole shot and get out front, I think I can check out and win this thing. But right now, Ricky's got his hands full. If he gets past Travis Preston, does he go to work now, Nick, and try to reel in Bubba? I know it's a tall order. Or does he just right conservatively say, I can just finish this thing off and take second?
Well, I think at the least he wants to go for a fast time. Everyone's going to go back to the pits, check the time. James is going to see where Ricky's at once Ricky gets in the second. If he closes in on him a little bit, he's going to be worried about him in the main. But if he pulls out a couple bike lengths, he knows he's comfortable and he can keep on his same lines he's using now.
Ricky Carmichael sits in second. Can he reel in James Stewart? He's got about 100 yards to do it. We'll find out when we come back to Pontiac. Welcome back to Pontiac at 250 heat number 2. You are looking at the final battle for the final transfer position. A lot of finals in there. 13 and 12. Heath Voss is 13. 12 is David Vuillemin. Now there's riders down in the track ahead of them, so they will have to slow down as the yellow flags come out. But James Stewart continues to lead. And Cameron, this is a great battle.
It is definitely. And if practice lap times are any indication, David Vuillemin is third fastest. Voss was ninth fastest. So David should have the speed to find a way around Heath Voss. You see Voss going inside and diving in. I think that's a big mistake. Look at the momentum that Vuillemin carries up behind him. Watch him go to the inside here. Not enough time to jump in there and stick the wheel, but he definitely tightened it back up.
Do you get comfortable, Nick? They come together right there. Heath Voss makes a slight bobble. David Vuillemin capitalized on that. They take a look over each other. This time, David Vuillemin has the line. Do you get comfortable, Nick, with one line and you have to go out of your comfort zone to make the pass?
Well, I think at this track, there's mostly one fast line for sure. As you've seen, Vuillemin's been getting fourth quite a bit. I think he's very determined to get on that podium, but with the talents out there now, it's going to be tough. But I think he's definitely looking to qualify out of this heat race and put himself in for a good gate pick to get a possible first podium on the year.
Nick Way with a good point there on the left-hand side of your screen. That is your leader, number 259, James Bubba Stewart. And on the right-hand side, that is the battle for the fourth and final transfer position as David Vuillemin just moments ago passes the reigning World Supercross GP champion in Heath Voss. So can Vuillemin hold off Voss, and can James Bubba Stewart continue to ride perfection? He's got Ricky Carmichael by about 7 seconds right now, but look at the lap times, Cameron.
Well, the last lap, Ricky Carmichael put down a faster lap time. Now his lap times are coming back in. James Stewart just popped up to the top. But Stewart and Carmichael both have put down faster lap times than Windham and Reed in the first heat. So that's definitely something of note.
Also, also, like I was alluding to before, the track breaking in a little bit more now. As you saw Byrne getting pushed out, and maybe the lines are a little better. I think these guys, all four of these guys are very close, and we'll see what happens. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the start of the main event.
Bubba doing a little scrubby. Nick, you are a Michigan guy. How do you like this dirt? I know you had a chance to do the track walk. If we take a look at this pass earlier as Ricky Carmichael gets by number 70, Travis Preston.
Yeah, there's some soft sections of the track, as you can see on the face of that step up there. Definitely some rust, but in the most part, the dirt's getting real soft on top. There's a lot of rock.
Your winner, number 259, James Bubba Stewart, making it look easy. He'll stop momentarily, take a look at the whip sections, and Carmichael, that last lap, very fast. Stewart logged a 46.2, Carmichael a 46.6, so an extremely fast heat here, 250, heat number 2, and our thanks to Nick Way for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I think this heat was definitely encouraging for Ricky. He looked like he was closing in bike links, you know, a little bit on James, and from the weeks past where James has been the fastest guy, it's definitely encouraging for those guys.
And we thank Nick and wish him the very best in his recovery as we take a look at our official results. It's James Stewart with the win in 250 Heat 2, followed by Ricky Carmichael, Travis Preston, and David Vuillemin rounding out the top 4. Let's send it down to Jamie Little.
Well, Todd, if you remember back just a few years ago when James Stewart entered the 125 class, it took quite a few races before he got it together and he wasn't on the ground. James, so far on the 250, you have it figured out, you have it dialed. How are you so good so fast this year?
I don't know, Jamie. You know, I feel really comfortable out there. You know, starting around, you know, I got a great bike this year, and just everything. It makes it a lot easier, and I feel really comfortable. So, you know, hopefully put 20 laps of track. It's really slippery tonight, and so it's going to be tough, but it'll be fun.
You get nervous at all before you go out there?
Yeah, of course. You know, racing against the best riders in the world, you know. Last week I got my victory. Hopefully I get 2 in a row tonight. So hopefully, wish me luck, and I'll try to get out there.
All right, thank you very much, Jamie. An exciting pass right here. This was the pass for the final transfer position as number 12, David Vuillemin, gets around Heath Voss. A great move by the Flying Frenchman. Right now, it's time for this edition of Suzuki Strategy.
One place where the action might go down, the elevated corner. Entrance 2 and exit up. Kevin Windham in his heat. You see him clipping just a little bit. Scrubbing a bit of momentum. The inside line definitely throws you higher, not as fast. James Stewart executing perfectly in his heat, and that's the Suzuki Strategy. As we said, a great crowd on hand here at the Silverdome as we take a look at our qualifying results. First off, it's the GameStop 250 semi. What results was Sebastien Tortelli got the win. In the 250 semi 2, the result is Heath Voss, and in the Samsung Wireless LCQ, it's Keith Johnson and Jason Thomas moving on to the main event. People, we want to hear from you. Text message us, mini phone, any service. Text message to 44600, your favorite 250 Supercross rider. It's free of charge to qualify for special prizes and choose to get weekly race results. Remember, 44600, your favorite 250 Supercross rider. The Big Four have all come to the Silverdome in Pontiac. Honda's Kevin Windham, Yamaha's Chad Reed, Kawasaki's James Stewart, and Suzuki's Ricky Carmichael. They are set to battle it out in the 250 main event next.
At elon.com.
As we welcome you back inside the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, with the THQ World Supercross GP and the THQ AMA Supercross Series. Todd Harris along with Cameron Steele, Jamie Little reporting from the track. Tonight's attendance very robust indeed, over 51,000. A great turnout for the folks here in the Pontiac area, 51,142 to be exact. Right now it's time for this Honda Pit Report, and for that we send it down to Jamie Little.
Well, Todd, we have all the big names except one tonight. That's Travis Preston. He's not here. On the race last week, you saw his big hit on. He got stitches in both knees. They won't come out until next weekend. We're not sure when he'll be back. In the meantime, he's put together a sponsorship deal. Rally car racing as well as Supermoto. You always have something going on, hurt or not hurt, guys.
All right, thank you very much. much, Jamie. We have got it. She set a star-studded gate tonight in the 250 main event from Pontiac as we take a look at our Suzuki starting grid. The man with the fastest time all day long, James Stewart Jr. on board his Kawasaki number 259. Kevin Windham checks in, as does Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed. Travis Preston has been very impressive, and Cameron, I think he may be the dark horse, especially on the whole shot.
Well, with the whole shot, of course. And I will point out, though, that the heat races were very close in overall time. Just a couple seconds separate them, so this is not decided by any means before this thing is over. Any one of these guys could be the player. Kevin Windham, yeah, huge heat race win. That was monstrous. Get him some good energy going into the main event, thinking, hey, I can do this.
Carmichael, Reed, Stewart, and Windham also on board. Our thanks to Ernesto Fonseca, the American Honda rider, number 24. He'll be running the helmet cam tonight, and if his heat race is any indication, Ernesto Fonseca certainly should be mixing it up.
I would definitely agree with that. And well, if you want to win this thing,
what are Cameron's keys?
Well, definitely the fast start. We talk about how one-line the track is. You got to get out right away to a great start, and then you got to be consistent with your sections. What does that mean? Well, if you're going to try to do something on every lap, you got to pull it off, or that's going to set you back. And watch your inside. Everybody's going to be railing the outside because that's faster, but watch for people swooping in on you.
So there are Cameron's keys as the 32nd board goes vertical, and we are set to go racing, and almost on cue, the over 50,000 fans in attendance here at the Silverdome get on their feet. Cameron, we have had some great history here at the Silverdome. Guys like Bob Hanna, David Bailey have put on a great show. Chad Reed has won the last 2 years. Can he make it 3? As the 32nd board goes sideways, it's the 250 main from Pontiac.
Windham with a great jump out of the center. He's going to go on that front corner. Perfect. All so far. We talked about the start.
Carmichael and Reed side by side, but Carmichael has the line as they go into the tunnel. Who will emerge? It's Reed in third place. So it's Windham, Voss, Reed, Carmichael, and Stewart, your top 5. Kevin Windham, Cameron, you pointed it out. You give him a little bit washed out. He was in third place, excuse me, when he washed out Chad Reed, and about 5 other riders went by him. Stewart has now worked his way back into 6th place. So James Stewart sits in 6th place, and he is moving up quickly on Mike LaRocco.
And there you see the battle. Carmichael, Reed, they have tightened it up a bit, and the space back to 4th place. Huge gap, monstrous gap, but when he comes around, here it is in traffic. There's James Stewart right there, making a move into the 5th. The top 5, now past Voss, who again opens the door and lets someone by.
So he's into 4th, and that was the corner where James went down. It was a simple mistake. He went in, and as Cameron pointed out earlier, the dirt is not very tacky, very dried out, and Bubba just washed out. They used a lot of lime to dry this dirt out. As we watch it, he was in a battle with Ricky Carmichael, and here's where it happened.
You see him blitzing through the whoops. He's going to go to the inside. Look at him. You see the tire just start to wash a bit. The dirt is very tricky. It's a hard-packed base with loose topsoil and some little rolling rocks. I can tell you, the James Stewart mechanic, Jeremy Albrecht, they were aware of the situation and dropped the tire pressure down to the lowest. They've run it all year to try to get the best possible traction.
There's your leader, Kevin Windham, number 14. He is out in front. Ricky Carmichael sits in 2nd as Windham gets squirrely momentarily. He saves it, but that is going to bring Carmichael that much closer. There you see the lead. Carmichael has now brought it in within 20 yards as they're in the same turn, but for Ricky Carmichael, it doesn't get easier because Chad Reed now is flying on the outside.
This is quite a development here. 3 monsters of Supercross all together. James Stewart trying to work hard to catch back up to his pack, but he is way out of the picture right now. A full straightaway plus.
James Stewart now just coming in that straightaway, so he is about 200-plus yards behind our leader. Your leader, number 14, Kevin Windham, brings it around. Ricky Carmichael sits in 2nd, Chad Reed in 3rd. They are about equal distance between each other, Cameron, and right now it's going to be the first man who makes the slightest wobble is going to give up position.
And we saw Kevin Windham make a mistake, but he was in the lappers. Remember, Ricky Carmichael riding with that hematoma on his stomach. Got to be a fact for Ricky, the true champion, putting it behind him. He has been racing hard and fast, and here comes Reed to the inside.
Whoa, Chad Reed with a very smooth pass brings Ricky Carmichael almost to a dead standstill. So it's Windham, Reed, and Carmichael. That is not going to set well with Carmichael.
And Reed not afraid to throw the tire in there. That is the guy he is trying to chase for the championship. He needs to gain as many points as possible. Chad Reed would love to get past Windham, have Windham finish in front of Ricky, get him a point gain going out of here.
Kevin Windham, number 14, your leader. Number 22 on board the Yamaha, Chad Reed. And number 4 on the Suzuki is Ricky Carmichael. Chad Reed may be the smoothest rider on the circuit right now, no question about it. But Ricky Carmichael may be the most determined and dogged rider out there. No one outworks Ricky Carmichael.
And Chad Reed going to that outside, hopping on. Let's see if the hop off. He's got the momentum.
Nice. Windham has the inside line. Can he hold it? Reed pulls up short. Reed slides to the inside line. To the whoops they go. Windham around the corner. He'll maintain his position. But Ricky Carmichael closes in now on Chad Reed.
Well, Windham and Ricky had the good line in the whoops. You saw Chad tried to go to a different line to make the pass.
Hey, I like what Chad is doing here, Cameron. He is not sitting on one comfortable line. He is trying some different things, really mixing it up, and that's got to be getting in Kevin Windham's head.
Well, for sure. And Kevin, he's been around forever. Smart rider. He knows how to keep a rider behind him. But Chad Reed, unbelievably determined. Look at the run through the whoops. Both riders go good. Let's see what happens. This is where Reed's been trying to make his move on the step-off.
Reed, step off. They both hit the triple at the same time. They come out even, but Kevin Windham once again has the inside line. He comes in time. Hey, Chad Reed pushes him. Took Reed wide. Good move by Kevin Windham there. And all that does is bring Ricky Carmichael that much closer. But I got to give Chad a lot of credit. He is racing the race in front of him, not worrying what's behind Ricky Carmichael. It is Windham, Reed, and Carmichael 1 through 3 with 7 laps to go. We'll be back momentarily. Stay with us.
The Honda CB.
Welcome back to Pontiac. It is Kevin Windham who is holding up Chad Reed just moments ago. Reed stuck the wheel in there, and this time Reed has the corner, squares it off, gets the pass.
And he saw Windham. He was smart about it. He did not try to about if he tried to fill that line. Let's Chad go in there. Not really a lot he can do.
Ricky Carmichael now pulling up on Kevin Windham, number 14. Carmichael goes to the inside, and Carmichael gets the pass on Windham. So it's Reed, Carmichael, and Windham, and just like that, Kevin Windham's fortunes have gone from gold to bronze. It's Chad Reed now moving up the front as he goes past number 23, Kyle Lewis, on the left rider, and it looks like it's going to come down to this. Chad Reed and Ricky Carmichael for all the marbles, and Cameron, I think Ricky just shifted out of defensive mode. He's looking for the top of the podium.
For sure, and I looking for him to get past Kyle Lewis quickly and see if he can make a move up there. He knows it's critical in points.
Kyle Lewis not sure exactly what it was. We take a look at the Butterfinger Chris whole shot replay. To the inside, it was Kevin Windham first to the pylon. He picks up the money. Clear shot, no question about it.
Big props there to Amsoil, Chaparral, Napster, and No Fear rider Kevin Windham, but unfortunately not able to hold that lead.
Chad Reed staying to the outside this time. Here's where he gets his run and his speed. Carmichael follows the same line as they go to the triple. It is still Reed, Carmichael, and Windham, your top three as we come down to the final 3 laps.
And for those of you wondering at home, James Stewart still in 4th place, but the gap is back quite a bit. He's not putting a lot of time on the riders in front of him, really, if any.
So it is Carmichael now dropping just a little bit behind Chad Reed, and that's where the back markers come into play. Chad has got around him a little quicker. Chad Reed had a bobble just a little bit ago. If you take a look at it on the right and left side of your screen, Ricky's running. Now watch this. This is just moments ago with Chad.
Chad just attacking the whoops. Oh! And Reedy.
Nice nose manual.
The face of that over jump is so gnarly with the run. You get in there a little bit crossed up, man, it could be lights out.
I think Scott Goggles just got a little more fog right there as he did little pressure going right to the nose. But Chad Reed, one of the smoothest in the business, saves that one, maintains his lead, and that lead is starting to grow unbelievably, Cameron, over Ricky Carmichael. The white flag is out. It's the final lap of the 250 main event. Chad Reed is your leader. Ricky Carmichael sits in 2nd. Kevin Windham in 3rd. Does it look like Ricky's just saying, you know what, Chad, I'm going to give you this one? Or do you think he's going to try to reel him in here because he's got to try something else?
I don't know that we're going to see a big effort here from Ricky Carmichael at the end of this. It's not vital to the championship chart. Yes, he's going to lose a couple points to Chad Reed, but not enough to bring Chad within a race of the championship. That's really what Ricky Carmichael wants to do. He wants to clinch the championship before he gets to Vegas, and then what he told me was, I'm ready to race them all wide open when I get to Vegas.
Chad Reed just took a look over his right-hand shoulder just to check and find out if Ricky was there. He is. The checker flag is out. It's the Thunder from down under, dominating Pontiac for the 3rd year in a row. Chad Reed picks up the victory. Ricky Carmichael will go to 2nd, and Kevin Windham will grab 3rd in one of the best races we've seen all year long. James Stewart put on a dominating display after he dumped the bike in a corner, dropped back to 9th. Stewart will finish in 4th place. When we come back, we'll sort it all out. We'll talk to the key players and wrap this thing up for Pontiac. Stay with us. Your winner, that man, Chad Reed. Rain vehicle. Well, lap for lap, maybe one of the best races we've seen all year long with all the players participating as we welcome you back to the Silverdome here in Pontiac, Michigan. As we take a look at our Honda results for the 250 main event, it is Chad Reed picking up yet another victory. Ricky Carmichael's on the podium in 2nd, and Kevin Windham checks in at 3rd. James Stewart charges all the way back up from 10th to get 4th place. Right now, let's set it down to the podium and Jamie Little.
Very exciting race. It's been 4 weeks since K-Dub's been on the podium. Now he made his way back up here in a big way. Kevin, take us through that huge hole shot and then all the laps that you led.
Yeah, I've been getting great starts tonight, and you know, the Dunlops are working well. And it's been a while since I got a hole shot, so it feels good to get that award. And I tried to plug away some laps, and I made a mistake in the rhythm section. They really sucked up on me, and I did the best I could. I just wasn't able to keep it there the whole 20 laps, but nevertheless, it feels good. It's been a long time since these league guys got to see the back of my Honda 450, and it feels good to give them a view for a little while and build the momentum for the rest of the season and carrying on in the outdoor season.
Tonight, it's not one, but two Nissan turning points. They both involve Chad Reed.
Chad making the big move on Ricky Carmichael, just filling the lineup and saying, see ya, and then making the pass for the lead. Kevin didn't want to risk both riders going down. He left that line be filled.
That is your Nissan turning point. Let's send it down to Jamie Little.
Well, Ricky Carmichael keeps it consistent. He is the only rider that's been on the podium every single weekend this year. RC, very tight, exciting battle, but Chad just slipped by you. What happened there?
He did. You know, I got by him, and you know, I was riding pretty good and got a little bit tight, but you know, hey, hats off to him. He beat me tonight. No excuses. I don't make excuses, and the guy was riding good. So I want to get up top and win. You know, it's frustrating, and you know, but at the same time, I got to be careful for the title. But you know what? We got another weekend, and I look forward to it.
We are T-minus 1 month to Las Vegas at the big conclusion of the Supercross Tour, the official destination of Supercross, Cameron.
Conclusion, it's a party. We're gonna play cards, roll the boat, dirt bike races, ready to rock and roll.
As we check our THQ World Supercross GP points standing to Carmichael, 58 points up on Mike LaRocco. He can clinch next week in Seattle, and then on the AMA side, he's got a 48-point lead on Chad Reed as we go back now to Jamie Little.
Finally, Chad Reed returns to the top of the podium with a big smile on his face. 4th win this year. Chad, what an exciting battle. There was all kinds of mix-up. Take us through it from your perspective.
You know, right from the get-go, I knew it was a get a good start track and just put consistent laps together. And the beginning, I just felt terrible. Like, the track was really loose, and you know, we changed the tires for the heat race, and kind of was the wrong way, and we stuck with it for the main because we thought the loose stuff was going to be gone. But before the main event, they put it back on, and I was struggling the first couple of laps, and you know, just waited for the track to come around, and then just started pushing. And man, really happy. It's so much fun to race with these two guys, and we have a lot of respect, and we keep it clean. We don't give it away, but we keep it clean, and I really like that. And I want to thank my team. They did such a great job all weekend to keep the bike awesome and make the right choices. And all the guys at Parselman, Thor, Scott, Bridgestone, and my wife, Ellie, trainer Jeff. Everybody's real happy, and we're happy to be smiling.
All right, Chad Reed, keeping it exciting, guys. Taking it down to the wire, I think we're seeing a new aggressive Chad Reed, Todd.
No question about that, Jamie. Congratulations to Chad. And Jamie Little, happy birthday to you, young lady. You don't look a day over 16.
Well, thank you so much. I'm a little bit older than that. I've been doing this a long time. But thank you very much for reminding me all day that it's my birthday.
Happy birthday. We're glad to have Jamie Little down on the track. We want to remind you our next show comes to you from the great Pacific Northwest, Westfield, Seattle, Washington, the Emerald State, April 17, 2005, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check your local listings. So Pontiac goes into the history books, and once again, it's Chad Reed who owns the dome.
Flexing his master's degree in Supercross, and James Stewart having a little slide up. He'll be back next week, and hey, if you want to listen to it live, log on to supercross.cc.com, and don't forget the online magazine, Inside Dirt.
So for Jamie Little and Cameron Steele, I'm Todd Harris. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Once again, your winner for Pontiac,